In New Orleans, there was a place once known as Le Pretre Mer, and then it changed to Sultan's Palace. Here's why. Back when it was Le Pretre Manor, he bought it from the original owner. He lived there for a while.
Oh, it's beautiful. Can we live there?
I don't think you'll want to once you know the story behind it.
Can't be that bad, but I'll listen.
Le Pretre, when he lived there, he was happy. He was financially stable, able to live there comfortably because of it. But that was also before the Civil War. Once the Civil War hit, that changed for a lot of people, including him. So he had no choice but to try and either sell it or put it up for rent.
Oh, that's sad.
He found someone that was interested, and he called himself a sultan.
What is a sultan?
It's like another term for like ruler, king, or queen. You know, titles like that.
Oh, so since I'm a princess, kind of like what I will grow up to be.
Kind of. So he was a sultan of Turkey, and once it was agreed that he would be moving in, he started transporting things that the area has never seen before, expensive things. They'd all watch as this was happening, and once it was pretty much all moved in, once all his stuff was in there, the last thing that they worked on were locked gates and security guards.
I guess he really didn't want anyone taking his stuff.
I guess not. But then again, a lot of people from that time period weren't financially stable anymore, so the risk was probably valid, and he was probably just trying to protect everything.
Yeah, I can see that. Is that why this place is so bad?
Oh no, I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, I gotta say though, so far, it's still not sounding all that bad. With the way this guy is moving in with all his stuff, he's worried about being taken, or possibly was worried about that. It seems better than what I initially thought.
I think you'll change your mind though.
Alright, still listening then.
Once he was settled in, the area noticed every night there would be crowds of people, certain crowds of people that would come in, and they'd have parties all night long. Everyone was able to hear the music, the laughter coming from the manor. It was a nightly thing.
Sounds kind of amazing. Just saying.
Just wait. This was going on for a while. Everyone was used to it. And then there was one night where a man was walking towards the street, as he did all the time, and he noticed something was different. And it didn't hit him right away, but the closer to the Sultan's palace he got, the more it hit him. It was quiet.
No party?
Well, I think there probably was, but at the time that he was walking by, it was over. And it was during a time where he knew it would have still been going on. And so the closer he got, the more curious he got. And so he looked towards the front door, and there he noticed underneath there was a trail of blood.
I'm starting to see why you're telling me I wouldn't want to be part of it. But what happened next?
He called the police. The police came over to investigate, and they were not prepared for what they were about to see.
What?
They saw bodies everywhere. Pieces of bodies. Pieces that they didn't even recognize were pieces of bodies. Some policemen were so unprepared that they ended up running out into the street, getting sick. They had to step away. But those that kept on were looking for Solomon, and they were noticing he was not amongst the bodies.
He did it. If they couldn't find him.
Well, they kept going. And so they started heading outside again from a different area of the palace, and they noticed a hand sticking out of the dirt, like it was reaching for freedom.
Solomon.
Yep, He was buried alive.
I see what you mean now. I'm fine here.
I thought you'd change your mind. But the weird thing, though, is a lot of people say that this is just a myth because while everyone in the town knew this happened, no one reported it. Everyone speculates it's because it was so gruesome. No one wanted to write about the details that was seen that night. No one wanted to take pictures and show it. It was just something that was talked about, not really reported. So nowadays, people question whether it was just a myth or it really happened. Those that experience hauntings believe that that was actually fact, that that night really did happen, and it wasn't just some story that was passed down from generation to generation to generation that was around back then.
Did they ever find out who did it?
Well, that's another thing about the story. No one was caught, but people do have their theories. Turns out, Suleiman wasn't really a sultan at all. His brother was. And that night, people remember a ship coming in, a ship that no one has really seen before. And so they believe it was his brother, who was the actual sultan, coming in for revenge, punishing him for lying by killing him, and everyone that happened to be there. But then again, that's just a theory.
So how is it haunted?
Well, since then, it was abandoned for a while, changed into apartments, then it was abandoned for a while, then it was actually changed into an academy of art, then it was abandoned, that closed down, and then it was turned into apartments again.
Who would want to rent an apartment there?
There are a lot of people who actually don't believe in ghosts, and I imagine those are the ones that mostly live in haunted places like this one.
They probably all have some kind of logical explanation behind everything too, only they're wrong.
Yeah, that tends to always be the case. But some people do experience things they don't have an explanation for.
Like what?
Well, there was one night, one woman was turning off her light to get into bed, and she looked around before she closed her eyes, and she noticed a silhouette of a man kind of standing at the foot of her bed, and she kept watching him. And the more she watched him, the closer he got to her. And then, just out of a reaction, she flicked on the lights, and no one was there.
How can you explain that?
I don't think she was able to.
Is that all that happened?
No, there's more.
Like what?
Well, this one I don't think has anything to do with the murders. No one can really connect it to them. But there is a soldier from the Civil War that people are guessing is from that time period because of the way he's dressed. That always seems to be there. Maybe he lived close by, maybe he liked to go somewhere close by, but he is seen pretty regularly, and there's also a woman that is seen a lot. Again, no one knows who she is, she's just there, and people have gotten kind of accustomed to seeing her. And the thing that happens most to the residents is they lose things. One of the most important things are their keys. They can't find them when they're trying to leave. They can't find them when they're trying to come home. It is a thing that's reported about a lot, are keys that are missing. And some people also hear screams in the middle of the night, which can be linked to the murders. Maybe it's residual hauntings. Maybe they're still hearing it. Maybe they're still hearing the murders that are happening. So it is haunted. Things do happen there.
I wonder if the people that live there just get used to it all.
Could be. They like it, so they stay and they just deal with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there anymore. Before I knew about the murders, I would. But knowing them, even with ghosts, I think I can handle that. But knowing the murders that took place there, no, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, me neither. Knowing that a crime happened like that would kind of turn me away from wanting to live there. Haunted places, Yeah, maybe I could, but knowing a murder happened? No.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.